Tonight, an oil tanker arrives to rescue local motorists. More controversy for the $100 million Southwood project and the multi-million-dollar windfall from phone companies. Good evening. A Christmas fuel shortage in Tasmania has been avoided with the arrival of a petrol tanker in Bell Bay this morning. Shortages were being experienced around the state, with some service stations left high and dry.
With the Christmas holidays in full swing, the arrival today of a tanker laden with much-needed supplies of diesel and unleaded petrol brought sighs of relief. Problems at interstate oil refineries resulted in some bowsers in the state running dry.
Fuel was low. It didn't get to a critical stage, but it was low, and it could have been made a lot worse if the public had been out and panic buyed.
While Launceston petrol outlets refuelled this morning, shortfalls in Hobart were replenished throughout the day.
Hobart will receive another tanker on Boxing Day, which will totally replenish supplies.
Meanwhile, electricity bills are set to rise by as much as $40 next year as the second stage of a 3-year plan established by Tasmania's electricity regulator is phased in.
So what that means for the average Tasmanian user is that their electricity bill will go up about 80 cents a day or $10 a quarter.
Dr Davis says despite the rise, there has been a reduction in business charges over the past few years, resulting in savings of around $50 million for small to medium businesses.
The good thing about that is it does provide certainty for Tasmanians in terms of knowing the prices, and in the case of business, it's enabled Tasmanian businesses to become more competitive.
The price increases start on January 1. Nicole Price, Win News.
The Tasmanian Aboriginal Land Council has weighed into the battle against the planned $100 million woodchip, veneer and sawlog mill in the Huon. Aborigines say the Southwood project will not only endanger significant cultural sites, but may further degrade water and air quality.
Under the plan, the old Electrona plant would become Tasmania's newest woodchip port. Southwood Resources envisages waste would be burned for electricity production. The Aboriginal Land Council says it will boycott any plan for the mill's development. However, National Aboriginal Council ATSIC, while wary of the development, will seek talks with the state government before committing the council to a stance.
We don't want all our country destroyed. We want to keep, our heritage sites and our significant sites.
In Hobart today, ATSIC renewed its call for a treaty with the Commonwealth. ATSIC says that with the centenary of Federation almost due, it's time for Australia's vast natural resources to be shared with the original owners.
I mean, we've had reconciliation, and part of reconciliation at the end was talking about the importance of a treaty.
Hugh McLean, Win News.
Ratepayers are the winners and phone companies the losers from a far-reaching federal court judgment giving local councils the right to levy rates for stringing cables in public space. The decision will cost Telstra and Optus millions and may open the way for gas and electricity companies to be charged as well.
They began rolling it out 5 years ago. Thousands of kilometres of paid television cable, above and below ground in suburbs throughout Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. It went past millions of homes, whether you liked it or not. Most of it laid on public property, and until now, it hasn't cost the cable companies a cent in council charges.
These are private companies, and they're using public infrastructure, and they should be paying rent.
2 years of battles over just that point ended with the federal court agreeing with the councils. And they're now in for a sizable backdated windfall.
Across the board, it could mean something in excess of $10 million.
Councillor Wood says Telstra and Optus are victims of their own arrogance, ignoring years of council attempts to levy rates on the cables.
They wouldn't have to worry about the little people, worry about local government, worry about the citizens and communities. Well, they've just found out that we do have rights.
Optus expressed surprise and disappointment at the ruling, which it claims runs counter to the national interest. Telstra was less dramatic, simply warning that customer charges will be under pressure. But Foxtel, the pay television carrier using Telstra's distribution system, says not so.
There won't be any impact on Foxtel subscribers, and our prices won't be changing as a result of this.
Now many councils want to go a step further, whether the ruling allows them to levy rates on other users, such as gas and power companies. Peter Harvey, National 9 News.
With the annual Christmas road blitz just 12 hours old, Tasmania remains fatality-free. But there's been a shocking start to the national road toll. 4 people have been killed in 2 separate accidents on New South Wales roads. 3 people have died and 4 others, including a baby, were injured in a multi-vehicle collision on the New England Highway.
On a slight bend 50 kilometres south of Tamworth, a crash scene emergency workers hoped they wouldn't see this holiday period. Police say the impact of the head-on between a Commodore and a Pulsar was close to 200 kilometres an hour. One of the survivors, an 8-month-old baby boy, strapped in the back of the Pulsar. He's now an orphan after his parents were killed instantly. With several broken bones, the baby was airlifted to Tamworth Base Hospital. Police say the driver of the Commodore crossed to the wrong side of the highway into the path of the Pulsar. He died on impact. His 22-year-old male passenger was taken to hospital with multiple fractures. An elderly couple in a third vehicle crashed into the back of the Pulsar. They were also taken to hospital.
There are indications that all occupants of the vehicles were on their way to see family or friends at the time.
Early this morning, a 50-year-old man was killed in a head-on crash at St Mary's in Sydney's west. Police believe his car crossed to the wrong side of the road, smashing into another carrying a man and a woman. Both were rushed to Nepean Hospital in a serious condition.
It's a very bad start to our Christmas break.
Anna Corrin, National 9 News.
3 boat people are feared drowned near a group of islands off the coast of Western Australia. The deaths are thought to have happened in Admiralty Gulf off the northern Kimberley coast. A boat carrying up to 40 illegals was detected there yesterday. It's believed the victims were trying to swim between 2 tiny islands when they disappeared. Coast Watch and Customs are now searching nearby waters. As families Australia-wide come together this time of the year, a Melbourne man and his brother have received the best Christmas present they could hope for. Peter and Tony Legree were reunited this morning after 48 years apart.
After almost half a century waiting to see his older brother, the final few minutes for Peter Legree were the worst.
Very excited, a bit emotional, but under control.
Under control?
Under control,
Sure.
at this stage.
When the customs doors opened, so did the emotional floodgates.
How you doing, buddy? Don't you bloody start. You start me off, you start. Absolutely numb. I'm tired, emotional, but just numb and glad to be here.
Born in Plymouth, the pair was separated when Tony was just 6 and Peter 4 after their parents split up. Peter was brought to Australia and raised by his aunt, while Tony stayed in England, reared by his grandparents.
Yeah. Can you remember those 2 big sheds that were there, Pete?
Yep. Yes, along here.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got the job of clearing them.
As memories were relived and new ones formed, the lost years rolled away.
He's here now today.
I mean, from my
And
point
for
of view...
48 years, that's my life.
From my point of view, I've been as nervous as hell. What do you say to your guy that you haven't seen for 48 years?
But words didn't seem that important. Each other's presence clearly the best Christmas gift imaginable.
Happy reunion.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Don't leave it 47 years till you ask me again.
Wayne Dyer, National 9 News.
And what a great Christmas they'll have. In the news ahead, Madonna is upstaged by her baby son, and 6 Australians win nominations for the Golden Globe Awards. The arrest in Sydney today of a man pretending to be a pilot who's accused of conning people out of thousands of dollars. The 51-year-old was picked up this morning after allegedly trying to sell fake airline goods.
Facing a list of charges involving deception and disguises, Barry Faulkner is allegedly a classic con man with a penchant for dressing up as a pilot. In one instance this year, police say Faulkner went on a Matilda cruise wearing an airline uniform. His outfit so convincing, he managed to extract more than $1,600 from 3 of his fellow passengers, promising his position at the airline meant he could get them duty-free alcohol at a bargain price. Another time at this mascot shop, he allegedly used an American accent, an alias and another fake uniform, his unsuspecting victims handing over $800 for more cheap duty-free. This morning it's alleged he was at it again, striking up a conversation on the footpath outside this city internet cafe. Police say he was offering more discount goods available to airline staff only, apparently pulling out a pilot's shirt and a forged airline ID badge as part of the ploy. But today, Barry Faulkner simply picked the wrong man. His suspicious victim had read today's newspaper reports about the alleged scam and went straight to police. He'll now spend Christmas dressed in prison greens until he appears in court again next year. Fleur Bitcon, National 9 News.
With one religious service complete and one more to go, Madonna has tidied up some pressing family business in the Scottish Highlands. Her baby son Rocco has now been baptised, and within 24 hours she'll become Mrs. Madonna Ritchie in a service conducted by the same Protestant minister.
This was Hollywood in the Highlands. Pop superstar Madonna arriving with husband-to-be Guy Ritchie. He cradled their 4-month-old baby Rocco, hidden in a bundle of white. The town of Dornoch had seen nothing like it. There was a crowd of media kept well back, and A-list celebrities including actress Gwyneth Paltrow, singer Sting and his wife, and fashion designer Stella McCartney, the Scottish nighttime mist adding to the atmosphere. The baptism inside the 13th century cathedral was a private affair, the local minister one of the few able to ignore the hype.
I haven't got any Madonna records. I haven't seen any Guy Ritchie films.
It was all over in 25 minutes, but as the happy family emerged with newly baptised Rocco, it was revealed there had been a gatecrasher, a 51-year-old man who hid in the toilets.
Detained earlier this evening within Dornoch Cathedral and has been charged with a number of charges.
Tomorrow, Dornoch will host an even bigger event when Madonna weds her film director fiancé, apparently in a nearby castle, where the beaming star has been staying. Nina Stevens, National 9 News.
Australia has a good squad going into next month's Golden Globe Awards in Hollywood. 6 Australians have been nominated, but it's bittersweet for some of them, running against each other for the same trophies.
The Aussies had every reason to crack open the champers after today's nomination ceremony. Russell Crowe is up for Best Dramatic Actor for Gladiator. His main opposition, Geoffrey Rush in Quills, a controversial film he hopes will benefit from his nomination.
This sort of endorsement gives us a bit more oomph in the marketplace, I think.
And there's also competition between 2 Australian actresses in the TV movie category. Frances O'Connor is up for her first Hollywood award for Madame Bovary, opposing Rachel Ward for On the Beach. Mel Gibson was nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy for What Women Want. By phone today, the superstar said it was a great honour.
It's gratifying. It tells you that you got kind of going in the right direction. Yeah, it's a kick. I'm going to celebrate with a cigar.
Rounding out the Australian nominations, the composer from country Victoria, Lisa Gerrard, up for Best Musical Score for Gladiator. It's the 2nd year in a row she's a Golden Globe nominee.
It's fun, you know. It's fun to be involved in something like that.
Joining the Aussies, some of Hollywood's biggest names. Tom Hanks for Castaway, Michael Douglas for Wonder Boys, Robert De Niro for Meet the Parents, and Julia Roberts for Erin Brockovich. In Hollywood, Nick McCallum, National 9 News.
The share market has closed for the Christmas break in positive territory. The awards up 9.2. The banking sector led the charge, the Commonwealth up $1.13. Lend-Lease, Optus and Telstra all made up some of yesterday's losses, but News Corp was down 31. The Aussie dollar up against the greenback, the pound and the yen off a little on the euro. Colin with sport now, and Venus Williams well and truly in the money, Cole.
Indeed she is, Tom. She's picked up a deal with Reebok worth around $75 million. Then gale force winds predicted for part of the Sydney to Hobart yacht race.
With European design and a 1.8-litre engine, Holden Astra delivers superior performance. With Lotus-tuned suspension, it drives like it's welded to the road. Holden Astra. Performance is a right, not a privilege.
The Weather Bureau has warned the Sydney to Hobart fleet to expect a rough trip south, with gale force winds predicted off the coast of Tasmania. A light breeze is likely on Boxing Day for the start, while the conditions don't appear to suit a record-breaking time.
As the sailors take care of every fine detail in the lead-up to Boxing Day, the Weather Bureau has been working just as hard to prepare a forecast for the race. A bumpy ride to Hobart, particularly in Bass Strait, is predicted.
As they do move through Bass Strait and out of the Tasmanian area, it could get quite uncomfortable in these gale force conditions.
The fleet can expect southwesterly gusts of up to 55 knots. Smaller vessels likely to receive the biggest battering, while the leaders may be able to reach Hobart before the worst of the weather hits.
the quicker that the yachts can get down to Hobart, probably the better.
While there's no prediction of a 1998-style storm, the forecast won't please the skipper of hot favourite Shockwave, who'd prefer northeasterly conditions similar to last year.
If we got a tailwind in our conditions, I don't think there's a boat in the race that could look at us. If we get a headwind, there's 8 boats that are capable of beating us.
Virtually untested in rough conditions, Shockwave's ability to weather a storm is under question. Crichton is taking no chances. He's loaded the boat with experienced sailors, including 12 members from Team New Zealand's successful America's Cup defence earlier this year.
It certainly runs smoother with a professional crew, such as Team New Zealand on the boat.
Chris Hodgkinson, National 9 News.
Venus Williams has topped off an impressive year by signing the richest endorsement ever for a female athlete. The 5-year deal with Reebok is reportedly worth $75 million. It comes in a year the 20-year-old won the US Open and Wimbledon and the gold in the singles and doubles at the Sydney Olympics.
We live comfortably, and for us, money isn't everything at all. Most of all, we just want to be happy and healthy. Health as well.
Australian jockeys Greg Charles and Justin Sheehan have been instructed to appear before a stewards' inquiry into Sunline's victory in the Hong Kong International Mile. They've been asked to return to Hong Kong for next Friday's hearing, following alleged comments by Charles in a newspaper suggesting that he talked tactics with Sheehan before the race. Charles rode Sunline, while Sheehan was aboard third-place getter Adam. Stewards want to investigate if there was any breach of the local rules. And to local racing and looking for some Christmas cheer tonight with the Mail. Tomorrow we're off to Elwick, and fresh from a good day last week, we'll play up our winnings on Molly May in race 2, Paragon in the 6th, and at good each-way odds, Candle in the Wind in race 7. That's all in sport, and Tom, on behalf of everyone who's sat here for the past 29 years.
There's been lots of them.
There has. Congratulations on a great career.
Thank you, Cole. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for your help. A look at the all-important Christmas weather forecasts coming up next with Wendy.
At Holden, we believe there's no point in building a quality car if it's out of people's reach. Holden Astra delivers the power, precision and performance of Europe's leading compact cars at a price you can afford. Holden Astra. Quality is a right, not a privilege.
Good evening. Areas of rain reported across the state today, which eased to isolated showers in the west and south by the afternoon. It was fairly humid in a number of areas, with today's top temperature 30 degrees at Campania. Hobart reached 28, Launceston 22, Burnie and Devonport both 19, and St Helens 26. Looking at other centres now, in Bishnoa top of 24 degrees, Orford 27, Scottsdale 20 and Bushy Park 26. The satellite shows an extensive band of cloud extending from central Australia across the state, then spiralling into a low to our southwest. Tomorrow's chart shows that the low will have passed south of the state while another cold front approaches from the west and should cross later in the day. To the capitals now, and Adelaide fine and partly cloudy with 22, Brisbane fine 32 degrees, Sydney a shower or two with 26, Perth fine 28 and Melbourne rain easing to a shower or two with 25 degrees. To the coastal waters, and a gale warning is current for remaining southern and western and northern waters between Tasman Island and St Helens Point for west to northwesterly winds, and a strong wind warning for central eastern waters between St Helens Point and Tasman Island for west to northwesterlies. To the major centres, Hobart an afternoon shower 14 to 24 degrees, Launceston mainly fine 12 to 21, Burnie and Devonport afternoon showers 13 to around 19 degrees, Strahan showers with 18, St Helens mainly fine 26, and similar for Swansea with 25. A road weather alert advises motorists of slippery roads due to patchy rain in the northeast at first this evening. The outlook for Sunday, a few showers and windy, similar for Christmas Day with a top of 18 expected, and for Tuesday showers and windy. Well, as you already know, this is Tom's last night presenting our news. For the past 29 years, Tom has been the person you've welcomed into your homes each night to bring you the day's news. Tom has decided to take another direction. Tommy, on behalf of all your friends from the Tas TV days and from Win Television and the many thousands of viewers that have tuned in over those 29 years, the very best of luck, good health and success for the future. Let's now share a few golden moments from those past 29 years. And now all I can say for the very last time, Tommy, is it's back to you.
Thank you, Wendy, and that's Tas TV, TVT6 and Win News for the past 29 years. Thank you for having me at your place and allowing me to be part of your family. Take good care of yourself, have a lovely Christmas, and 3 more sleeps. For me, it's onward and upward, and I'll see you sometime soon. Good night.
Oh. Can I have a
Getting a wind up.